This will be a video about ZD550 frame. It's for the 1.2 version, you can tell because it's written on the top plate, and also these red pins are different than the old hinges. And spoiler alert, if I knew everything wrong with it, I wouldn't buy it. I will just go with a Holybro X500, or you will see what else. So basically around $80. I don't advise you against it, but you should know the issues and that it is not plug and play. So this is B-Cube brand for the electronics, for example this power distribution board, and also the ESCs and the breakout boards or the PWM boxes for the distribution. Anyway, so issue number one about the frame. These folding hinges had unacceptable play because there were some seared holes. I did try to repair them several times with JB Weld. It will be difficult, so but I will have some pictures, and I ended up adding some solder bolts. So basically you can see here I have bolts on both sides to keep the arm steady. Issue number two, it's about the frame. The carbon fiber plate has 3mm screws to mount the hinges, but these are 2.5mm. So I ended up adding some T-nuts, which was very difficult. I had to drill them and everything. I bought a bunch of them in this bag. These are actually to use for heat sinks in transistors and that kind of stuff. So issue number three, it's about the frame geometry. It's a bit odd in general. It's top heavy, and basically there is a tip over risk, so it is very unstable during the landings. And now you can see these clown PVC pipes. These are electrical conduit, 16mm, and the carbon fiber was that longer, and that increased the tip over risk. But I will upgrading this frame because the motors are very heavy on the sides. I will put 4 landing skids, basically one under each motor. On this side, on the motor side of the arms, there is no alignment slot. So here you can see there is a bolt running through the carbon fiber tube, but on this side there is nothing. So if you don't tighten this properly, or whatever reason, it gets out of alignment. So I had an inclinometer. I tried to calibrate it as best as I could, and also added this marking, so if it gets out of alignment, I know. But this was, a struggle with it. So this kit came with this mount. It is a metal, so this is not also very good for compass interference, I guess. This is folding, that's a nice feature, but I think first of all it's too tall. I ended up 3D printing another one, and it is I checked it with compass interference and there's no issue at all. And this was folding. It ended up oscillating because this metal tube was really flimsy, and it was also missing like this bolt on the bottom, strangely. In my first hard landing I had the tip over, and actually it came loose. This was press fit, but it was missing the bolt. PDB that came with it doesn't match any of the holes on the frame, so I literally couldn't mount it. And the funny story is actually that this is not a standard pattern, so it's very difficult to show right now, but the options here are mounting 45 by 45, which is very odd. So basically 30 by 30 is a standard these days, and I will printing an adapter to be able to fit 4-in-1 ESC. That's one of the next point. So basically this had these standalone ESCs. These are PWM BL Heli. It could be possible to upgrade them to BL Heli S, but that would be very difficult to do, and basically these take a whole lot of space in my frame, and I have no room to mount everything else, so like VTX or things like that. Telemetry and video, so that's not a problem of the kit, it's kind of my own decisions. So right now I have this Wi-Fi module here, which I'm getting okay range to test and everything, but also with the radio, if I was starting now, I wouldn't go with this Fly Sky style. The controllers are flimsy. I would go with the Radio Master Boxer, and for these ZD550 or whatever industrial frames, I would go with ELRS or MLRS. Now they support telemetry really good. Obviously the frame does not have any covers, so I even got comments that this is a mess or handmade, whatever, you know, and I will have to tidy up the wire. I agree, yeah. So there's also like little community support or no instructions to build the frame. Literally you have to check the pictures and figure out everything yourself, and you have a whole bunch of screws leftovers and things like this. And maybe one last thing, this Pixco 6E looked very convenient at first because everything is plug and play, but I found out that it's not really like that, so I would go with a 6C Mini or maybe a flight controller stack that supports enough UARTs or, you know, outputs for additional capabilities that you want in this type of frame. So what else? Let me show you. Basically the battery mount was one of the difficult things for these frames. So right now you can see these silver standoffs, and literally it had these standoffs, and because the battery was so far from the plane of the rotors, it was a nightmare to tune and everything. So I ended up converting to these. So obviously missing the rail to mount the payload, so I figured this solution for my GoPro, anti-vibration mounts and this thing to make it protrude a little bit. And here I'm going to add a dropping mechanism on the top, and I designed it such a way that it will be easily swappable with other payload I might want to add. It also has some lights and everything, more like projector lights to fly at night and see with your camera stuff. I don't know. Haven't installed them right now. So future plans, I will add this mount to make the antennas nice and tidy. Right now they're with tie wrap very messy. This will be the 3D printed arm mounts that I will be replacing the folding ones with, and basically this right here is to adapt SpeedyB lights. I 3D printed this one. It will hold the XT60 connector. Obviously it will be panel mount, and I will be plugging the battery from the bottom like that, and it will be nicely covered, so it screws here. Yeah, so basically those were all the issues with this frame. The folding hinges that I bought from were a nightmare. I ended up not using them. So if you want to go AliExpress, just buy one with steady arms, not folding, and has some kind of payload platform here with vibration damping and everything. Yeah, so I hope that gives you a pretty much a good idea about this frame and maybe help you decide your own. You know, I would go with the Holy Bro, but that's just me. I like having a bad time.